sweetheart. It's 10 o'clock. Why aren't you at home?
Hi, how's the baby doing? I'll have some work to wrap up in a few hours.
I couldn't see the doctor this morning either. Luckily, the baby is doing well now. He's sleeping.
You should take some rest, too. You must be exhausted.
So, will you be back home soon?
I'm not sure. I'm simply swamped with work. You know, the Christmas is coming, so the orders are increasing. Moreover, we also need money, considering the new expenses we'll have with the baby.
Don't put the financial matters too heavy on you, Terry. I'll return to work once my maternity leave is over.
I understand that, but this is a critical point in my career.
I just want you to spend some quality time with me and our baby.
You've become quite sensitive. Can't you see I'm doing this for us? For you and our child, so both of you can enjoy a comfortable life.
Honey, I don't want to fight with you.
Sure.
The next day. Hey, Terry!
I'm here. What's wrong?
I didn't see you this morning, but I found your clothes in the laundry. Did you get home?
Yes. I have to come to work early at the office.
Will you be back home early tonight?
I don't think so.
When will we have some quality time together with me and the baby?
When this campaign passes, I'll have more time and will be more relaxed.
I'm sure you can come home 1 hour earlier to be with me and our child.
You're making things really hard, and I don't know why you want me to be home.
Did you seriously ask me that? What's the husband for then?
You tell me.
Our son needs to have an interaction with his dad. Okay? I don't want to argue. I just want you to spend time with us.
And you will soon, once this campaign is done, I promise.
Okay. The next morning. Hey, Lucy. Where are you now?
I'm on the way to the supermarket. What's wrong, huh?
If you have some free time, can we meet for a while?
Of course. I'll pick you up at your house, okay?
Okay. Please call me when you get there.
See you soon. Is something wrong? You look very pale. Tell me anything, 'cause I'm your sister, Mary.
Thank you, Lucy.
Now stop deflecting and answer me. Is something wrong?
I'm not sure if something's up, but it's about Terry.
Terry, your husband? What's going on?
I don't want to exaggerate things, but I think something's not right.
What do you mean?
He's acting distant, getting home late and leaving early. I hardly see him.
You think he might be, cheating?
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
I think he's definitely not cheating on you. Remember when, in high school, how hard it was for Terry to fight for you over Zach? Yeah, I remember. I liked Zach, but I respected your choice, Terry.
Exactly.
So why would he go through all that effort back then to cheat on you now, after all these years?
You're right. I guess I'm just making things up.
I can understand. Maybe he's just stressed at work and needs time to balance between work and family. And he might also be anxious about becoming a father.
Yeah, that could be it. Thank you for always standing by me.
You're welcome.
The next week?
Don't worry. Your baby is in very safe hands. I'll take good care of him.
I know you will. If I didn't trust you, I wouldn't have asked you to look after him tonight.
By the way, where are you going?
I'm going to Terry's office.
Be confident, Mary. You're a beautiful and strong woman.
Let's not make it too dramatic.
Did you check yourself in the mirror? You look beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
I'll text you later when I arrive at the office.
Okay, now off you go. Love you.
Love you too. Later that night.
Hey, Mary, did you get home? I didn't think I could meet you again.
I've got home, Zach. It's surprising, isn't it? By the way, why you were there.
My company is located in that biding. And what about you?
I was just waiting for Terry. Do you know anyone that works there?
Yeah, I have been working here for many years.
Wait, what? You were working at Meg?
Yeah, I am.
Wow, that's amazing. The Earth is really small.
That's right.
It feels like just a short while ago we were in the same high school.
Right. Time flies so fast.
How is your wife?
Well, I'm still single. It's strange, isn't it?
What? So you stayed single all this time?
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Oh no, I'm not judging you at all. I'm just surprised.
I know you're not. After graduation from university, I focused on my career and started my own business. I didn't have time for dating or marriage.
So, you are planning to get married, right?
Yeah, I think I am.
That's nice. I hope you meet someone special soon.
I hope so too.
At the weekend.
What's wrong with you, Mary?
Not at all. Why do you ask me like that?
Lately, you've been avoiding my hugs. and you turned down intimacy.
It's not about you. I'm just tired after giving birth.
It's been a month already.
It takes time for me to recover, Terry. Please be patient.
Okay, I understand.
By the way, I'll return to work. Lucy told me to work at her company.
That's great. I thought you might be feeling lonely.
Yes, exactly.
It would be nice for you to change your working environment.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't like that you're home alone all day.
I know. It's because of your heavy workload recently.
You're the best for understanding. I'll pick you up and take you to Lucy's company tomorrow.
Can you fit it into your busy schedule?
Of course, I'll always make time for my wife.
A month later. Hi there.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. And you?
I'm good. Why are you looking for me?
Oh, I know it's sudden, but Terry and I are having a party celebrating our new baby. We want to invite you and the team to dinner. It's already started.
I see. It's short notice.
Yeah, I asked my sister to send you the invitation, but she somehow forgot it. I'm really sorry.
It's okay, Mary. It must have been hard to organize things. That's why your husband and secretary often go together these days, right?
Oh yes, this is why.
Got it. We'll be there, though I may only stay for a short time. Congratulations on your new son.
Later that night,
Mary, where are you? Why didn't you answer my phone?
I'm afraid I won't be able to keep calm when talking to you now. You think you deserve?
I want you to know she doesn't mean anything to me. We've come a long way, so let's not ruin everything over one mistake. Please, trust me, my dear.
I knew the truth about how much she means to you.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not naive, Terry. I know you've been with her since I was pregnant.
That's not true, Mary. Please listen to me at least once.
I did listen to you. Listen to the sweet words between two people in your office. It's hard to believe you were the man with whom I fell in love.
What happened to you?
Don't tell me your excuses. I already know you slept with your secretary for a short time. I was trying to sympathize with your busyness. I was trying to surprise my husband, but I ended up being the one surprised.
Whose fault is that?
You mean it was my fault? How could you say that?
You didn't want to be intimate with me.
I didn't refuse you. I had just given birth, so I need time to recover.
You were taking too long to recover. I'm a man, and I have needs, you know?
So that's why you cheated on me? What a silly reason.
You've known all along, right? It was you who sent the pictures of me and my secretary to my office. Can you imagine how crazy it would have been if someone at the office had known?
Anyway, everyone at work knows after tonight, right?
It's all because of you. My team coincidentally showed up just as Jade and I were beginning. You're quite the actress, creating a big surprise show and crying when you run out. But I want to warn you that if anyone finds out what happened, I will take you to court and try to get custody of our child. Do you understand? I know you love our son a lot, so be careful.
Don't think that you can control me. And you will lose your job soon, so get ready to face more trouble.
What does that mean?
It means you'll find out soon enough. And remember, never threaten Ben. I'd do anything to protect him. A few days later...
Do you really want to go to court for this?
My lawyer has been talking to me.
Oh, they have. I might have lost my job, but I won't lose my son.
If I were you, I would step back and try to save my reputation.
That's not going to happen, so be prepared to do your best.
On that day...
I heard about your story. Terry wants to have full custody of your son, huh?
Yes, he does.
I'm supporting you. I know this whole process has been really tough.
He really has. I hope everything goes well in court because we've done all the preparation.
You're a strong and lovely woman, and nothing can stand in your way.
Thanks, Zach. Your encouragement makes me more confident.
Anytime, Mary. If you need any assistance, call me. Would you like to get a drink after all of this is over?
I'd like that.
I'll be waiting for you outside the courtroom tomorrow.
Okay, see you there. The next day...
Mary, are you there?
Yes. What's wrong?
I think you feel sad for everything that's happened.
Stop acting as if you know me well. You didn't pay any attention to me and our son.
Mary, please try to understand from my point of view.
We're past the point of understanding.
Why don't you believe me when I say I didn't have any feelings for my secretary?
I know, but that's not important now. We're not together anymore, and I have full custody of our son. You're free from our marriage. You can now start a new chapter in your life without my interference.
Oh, no. What's the point of having freedom when my reputation has been spoiled? How come I didn't know there were hidden cameras in the room?
If it weren't for that, why would I know that you and that secretary did such disgusting things?
Remember the good moments. We had those, and we can have them again, Mary.
You must still be mistaken, Terry. I'm not getting back together with you ever again.
Don't say that. Please think of our child, Ben. He needs both parents by his side.
He'll be okay when living with me. Don't worry about that. You're on your own. Good luck finding a new job. One more thing. Since I got the house, I want your belongings moved out before I return.
Let's have a conversation, please.
5 years later. My son is now 5 years old. He's a very happy and adorable child, and he brings me a lot of joy. My post-divorce life became less difficult thanks to my boy. I haven't heard from Terry for years. I'm happy that I could keep my son away from his father. But, sadly, he won't know her real dad. The secretary was also fired to protect the company's reputation since then. When Lucy found out what happened, she was really upset. However, she and Zach were always beside me and cared for me. Zach and I officially started dating 3 years ago, and it was my best decision ever. He's been so kind to my son, treating him like his own. The good news is that he proposed to me last month, and we plan to get married next month.
Alice, we need to talk.
What can I help you, Mom?
Your father and I are going to be moving tomorrow.
Hold on. Where did this come from? This isn't something you just drop on someone out of nowhere.
That's why I'm telling you now we are moving tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, you are going to be living alone.
Mom, I don't think I quite understand everything that's going on here. Where are you moving to?
We're moving to Maya's house. Starting tomorrow, we're going to be living with her.
What? You're abandoning me out of nowhere and decide to move in with my big sister. But is Maya's house actually an apartment, isn't it? And she is paying rent for it monthly, right? How are you planning on living there? Your moving there just causes trouble with her lease.
You really are stupid.
Excuse me.
Of course, we aren't planning to live in her apartment. There's no way we'd do something like that.
Then where do you all intend to live? I still find this all incredibly hard to believe, Mom.
We're going to be living in a new house. I'm talking about a new house that Maya's family built a new house.
Maya and her family built a house?
Yes, that's right. The house is a duplex. And they built it for your father and me.
I see, Mom. That's good to hear, but why am I only hearing about this now? I haven't heard a thing from Maya about having built a new house nor about any moving plan.
What? Why do you think we had to talk to you about it? It's not like we need your permission to do anything. Well, it would have actually been a problem if we had talked to you about it earlier.
What do you mean by that?
If I had talked to you before, you would have just done everything you could to tag along with us. You would have tried to shamelessly guilt-trip us into bringing you along. That's what Maya was worrying about.
What are you talking about? Why on earth would I want to go along with you? What makes you think I would be?
Come on, Alice. Look at you. You're already 28 and you're still single and living with your parents. Meanwhile, Maya's husband is a very successful business manager and a super rich. It's not strange at all to think that you'd want to take advantage of their money.
I have no idea how you could have come to such a ridiculous conclusion. You know how much I've hated Maya? She's always bullying me and rubbing her every little success in my face. Do you think I would just forget about all of that and want to move into her house? That would be the furthest thing from my mind. I'm nowhere near that desperate.
Don't be rude, Alice. It was just a reasonable guess, like I said earlier. This is what Maya was worried about. She was thinking that maybe you'd try to barge in on her life and ruin her family's happy life in her new home. If things ended up like that, it would mean serious trouble for me too.
Mom, that response certainly doesn't surprise me in the slightest. This is how you've always been thinking of Maya over me. What makes you think I would ever want to come along and continue living with uncaring parents like you? Not only that. You told me some time ago that living alone and single would have looked poorly on me to begin with. You are the one who was whining so much about the idea of me living alone that I just decided to stay with you so you would shut up about it. Don't go acting like I ever intended to live in this house ever since I became an adult. It's all because of your whining that I'm still here.
Stop trying to act tough around me, Alice. It's not going to work. Don't try to lie and say it was anything else other than you wanting to just live off us like a worthless parasite.
Oh sure. That's just the kind of thing I'd expect to hear from someone like you, someone who left me to do every last bit of housework like I was your maid. People like you often try to say something like that to your kids when they start speaking up against you. Well, whatever. Since you're moving out tomorrow, I'll finally get to say goodbye to all of your bull once and for all. Frankly, I'm relieved to hear that that's what you've decided to do. I suppose I'll just look forward to finally living how I want to.
Oh, and one last thing I need to tell you. You had better continue living in that house, got it?
Excuse me? I'd prefer to move as soon as I possibly can. I would be happy to not live one more second in this house. There's no reason for me to have to follow any such demand.
Don't think I'll let you get away with doing that. You do realize that that house is our family home, right? I would never forgive you if you just selfishly abandoned our family's property.
Are you crazy? Are you even listening to what you're saying? If you care so much about this house, the two of you should be the ones to take care of it. Not me.
What? There's no way we would be able to do something like that. Just think for 1 second. Once we move, your father and I are going to be so busy helping Maya every day. You do realize Maya is working too, right? Since she's working, she's asked her father and me to deal with all of the housework. It's ridiculous to think that we would be able to take care of our old house when we'll be so busy already in Maya's. That only leaves you. Everything will turn out just fine if you just live in our old house and take care of it yourself.
What do you think I can handle all of this on my own? You're crazy. That's out of the question. How about we look at how you're only telling me this the day before you move out? You haven't discussed this with me at all. So I have no need to listen to you either.
How dare you? Are you forgetting who raised you? What makes you think you can act like this towards your mother? I just don't understand how you could have grown to be this ungrateful, insolent woman when Maya turned out perfectly. At the very least, if you had just gotten a job with $1,000 or something, then this would be a totally different story.
So now you're trying to insult me because of what kind of work I do. I'd appreciate it if you didn't badmouth every aspect of my life. I suppose I can't just cry about how it's so unfair that you only think about Maya. I'm far too old for something childish like that. I am already well aware that no matter what I say to you, you won't give me the time of day. You clearly gave up on me ages ago.
That's right. I guess I did raise you into someone who can at least understand some things. Then I'll be counting on you starting tomorrow. And you won't need anything to eat for dinner tonight. Your father and I are going to be eating out with Maya's family. So I won't be there to make anything for you.
Whatever. Enjoy your dinner out with the only family you actually care about. I don't exactly want to see your faces at all after today. So I'll be staying at a friend's place tonight.
Excuse me? What about helping us with our move? If you don't get everything packed up for us, it will cause trouble for everyone.
I figured you would say that. It's amazing just how unbelievably predictable you are. Why do you think I'm going to a friend's house in the first place? You're the ones who decided to plan all this behind my back in the first place? Why not take this as your first chance to get used to living life without relying on me? You'll be fine, I'm sure.
What? You had better stay right at home. I'm telling you that there will be serious trouble if you don't help us with preparing for the move. Alice. Living in a new house is just so nice. This is just the kind of life I would expect from having such a successful businessman as a son-in-law. I've never before experienced such an elegant, refined lifestyle.
Mom. Seriously? If you want to gush about how amazing your life is, you can just write it in a diary or perhaps talk to someone who actually cares. There's no need to keep messaging me about everything.
Living together with Maya's family must be the best thing.
Mom.
You disobedient little wretch. Since I first told you about our move, you haven't even shown your face to me. And you've just been out playing with your friends and acting all innocent. You're still keeping that promise you made to me, aren't you? There will be serious consequences if you aren't.
Promise?
Don't play dumb. I'm talking about you living at our old house and taking proper care of it. Have you been cleaning it daily? There will be serious trouble if you have been neglecting it.
I'm certainly living in the house right now. But apart from that, I don't see why you feel the need to be constantly telling me to do. It's nothing more than a nuisance.
I don't know why I'm even surprised that you continue to talk back like this to me anymore. When are you going to finally grow up and learn to accept some responsibility? It would be so much better if you could just learn even a little bit from Maya. She's a proper daughter who respects her parents and treats them properly.
What? You even care at this point? Instead of constantly worrying about a daughter like me who according to you can't amount to anything, why aren't you just focusing on living happily ever after with your favorite daughter Maya? Isn't talking to me just putting a damper on your happy new life with the only daughter that matters to you?
I wouldn't put it like that. I'm not even close to worried about you. All your father and I are worried about is if our house is still in pristine condition. I'm only talking to you to make sure you're taking good care of it. This was originally something we were hoping to leave to some agency or another that could take care of it for us. But we figured it would be a waste of money when we have our parasitic daughter around. So we thought it would just be easiest to leave it to you. We've been doing you a favor by leaving you a place to live. So, it shouldn't be so strange for us to just ask you to take care of the place.
Sorry, Mom. I have no idea what you're talking about. You should just stop worrying about me and go enjoy your fun new life in your new house. I'm in the house, that's all that matters, right?
I suppose yes. I guess Maya and I just worry too much. No matter how anxious we get about what you could be neglecting. If we worry about it every day, it would just take years off of our lives.
Whatever, Mom. I don't see how continuing to make snide remarks at me is helping anything either. So I'm just going to go. Bye.
You are such a disgusting daughter. Whatever. Remember, you need to keep taking good care of the house. Alice. Where you at? Text me right back.
What's wrong, Mom? It's 6 a.m. I'm even sleeping.
I tell you countless times that you had to take good care of the house.
Excuse me? I am taking good care of the house I'm living.
What? You're living in our house, aren't you? I'm getting complaints from everyone. The neighborhood has been complaining to us about a cat living at our house. That cat is pooping all over our garden. Our old neighbors have noticed the smelly scent and are complaining to us about it.
Huh? The cat? I have no idea, Mom. I don't own a cat. I don't know what they're complaining about. There's not a single cat in or around the house. And garden? There's no garden at my house. I'm living in an apartment, sorry.
What do you mean by that? An apartment? What are you talking about?
Don't you think it would be more helpful to go looking at your old house first? If there's all those complaints coming in from the neighbors, it might be better to go check the damage for yourself. It sounds to me like there might be some problems you're going to have to deal with.
What in the world happened here? The place looks utterly desolate. How could you let it fall into such disrepair? You said you were taking care of the house.
What? Didn't you hear me the first time? I am taking care of my house. Or rather, my apartment. Oh, right, there's one other thing I'm taking care of right now. You just happened to text me as I was finishing up some important work. I have been working to isolate every aspect of my life from all of you, so you can never interfere with my affairs again.
What are you talking about? This isn't something you just drop on someone out of nowhere.
What do you mean? Like how you and Dad did the same to me with your whole moving out. There shouldn't be any problem with me just telling you this now. It's not like I felt you needed to know anything about it. I'm just treating you the exact same way you treated me. You certainly didn't think it was important to let me know you were planning to move. And yet you still expected me to help you prepare everything. On top of that, you try to make me take care of the house you are leaving behind. What I'm doing should fall perfectly well within the bounds of what you seem to find as acceptable behavior.
What are you talking about? You're basically saying you're disowning us.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Alice. Moving out and disowning your family are two completely different things. Moreover, where are you right now? The house is absolutely caked with dust. You aren't cleaning the house daily like you promised.
Mom, I never made a single promise to you about cleaning a house. I told you I was cleaning my house. My apartment is also my house, Mom. They are the same.
How could you do something like this to us?
Don't act like any of you ever even cared that much about me. As long as I can remember, you all have only seen me as your servant.
We never thought that.
Oh, really? How about we take a quick look back at what's gone? You started off by suddenly telling me, your daughter, that you were moving out of your house one day, before you planned to move. You planned to move, you expected me to do most of the moving work for you. Then try to order me to take care of the house after you were gone. You weren't letting me live there as thanks for how much I helped you. You were making it sound like an obligation. You did everything you possibly could to try to force me to handle caring for the house you were essentially abandoning. Is that the kind of treatment you think a daughter deserves? Do you think they'd see the relationship as mother and daughter or master and servant?
What are you talking about? All of that was Maya's fault. I mean, just look at how differently the two of you were acting. Not only were you single, you were nothing but a parasite latching onto and living off of us instead of living out there on your own. Maya, on the other hand, married a rich husband and did what she can to let us live a happy life. It should be obvious, of course, we would pay more attention to Maya.
Is that because Maya married a rich man, it's her fault that you treated me like garbage? I'd say the fault pretty clearly lies with you. You didn't want to have to deal with managing a house or the difficulties that just come with living. So you made me do everything.
What makes you think you have the right to talk to me like that?
Honestly, Mom. Expecting someone else to keep a promise you made without even telling them? No one would do something like that. That house is not my house. I don't see why I even need to tell you this. But it's the obligation of the owner of the house to take care of it, isn't it? If you didn't want to shoulder the responsibility yourself, then maybe you should have thought a bit more about the person you wanted to leave it to. But I guess it's just too late to go taking back everything you did now. Good luck cleaning up the house.
Hold on, Alice. Come on. You could at least just help us with the house, couldn't you?
I would appreciate it if you didn't try to treat my family like your own personal workhorses. You all are nothing to me now. I don't consider any of you my family. Please do not contact me ever again. Bye. After that last conversation, I felt I owed them an explanation as to what my mess of a family had been doing. It took a while to explain to them all the horrible things my toxic family had done to me. But when I was finally done, my mother-in-law wept and embraced me. It made me happier than I could have ever imagined in a moment. Burying my face into her chest as she reassuringly patted my head from that point on. I never returned to that house full of memories of a horrible upbringing with terrible parents. I started living a happy new life together with my husband and his family. My only family. Hey Vanessa. I'm so jealous of you. Why the life is so weird. I heard that you're getting married and you even didn't tell me. I didn't realize it was even still possible to get married at 40.
Are you serious? It's already being spread around the office?
Yeah, it's crazy how fast word travels. You are lucky dog. It's insane that you're actually getting married. I still having trouble processing it. It's a miracle. I don't even know what to say to that.
Am I supposed to take that as a compliment? If so, thank you. Although it's all feeling a little backhanded, to be honest.
Of course, it's a compliment. Don't be silly, Vanessa. But I mean, spending all of that money on a wedding. It's not cheap, right? I really admire that you're willing to do that. If it were me, I'd never be able to do that. It'd be a waste.
Why are you bringing up money?
I'm just saying being able to get married at 40, let alone finding someone willing to marry you at that age. You certainly tried a lot to pull that off. I'm sure you've already spent tons and tons of money on like a matchmaker or something to find someone.
Huh?
Or did you pay for the premium service on some dating app to beg those guys to talk to you? How much you have to invest to land yourself a man?
I really don't know what you're trying to say. But you're completely wrong. I haven't hired anyone to help me out with the whole matchmaking thing. And I certainly have never tried out or even downloaded any of those dating apps. It's so rude of you to even assume that I had to pay my fiancé to marry me.
Oh really? But there is absolutely no way that some 40 years old like you is able to get married. How could someone just willingly choose to get married to you? To be frank, that sounds ridiculous.
There is no reason why a 40-years-old woman can't get married just like everyone else. To be honest, what really happened was he just came up to me while I was in the city. I never thought this man who was like 10 years younger than me would ever start flirting with me.
What? He was flirting with you? I'm sorry, but did you have a typo or something? Did you say 10 years younger than you?
Yeah. Can you believe it? I was actually stopping at this bar to treat myself to a little cocktail and I was a little drunk. And I was feeling a little buzzed, so on a whim, I just invited him to join me. And he said yes, so we just started talking. One thing led to another, he asked me out right then.
You're joking, right? He met some 40-years-old woman and he just decided to ask her out right then.
No, I am not kidding. That's just kind of how we started seeing each other. He pretty much proposed within a couple weeks. I was actually surprised by how fast everything went down now.
There's no way that you're telling the truth. I mean, it would make perfect sense if it was someone young and hot like me. But Vanessa, you are literally 40. Even on your best day, you still look like super old. And I'm supposed to believe that some younger guy flirted with you and that eventually chose to propose? Out of his own free? Oh wait. I think I got it. Your fiancé must be blind, right? Or there's something seriously wrong with his vision. I suppose his vision is a little off, he does have to wear glasses.
But if he takes his glasses off, his face isn't half bad to look at. You know what I mean? Actually, I think he kind of looks like that one celebrity you like. You know, the guy from that boy band you're always going on and on about.
Which one?
Well, I guess the band name is The Wall. And his name is Peter Park.
What? Are you being serious? There's no way Peter is your fiancé.
At first, I was a little worried because I was afraid he was just looking for some money or something. But after that, I realized that was definitely not the case. He's such a gentleman and so kind. He really is planning ahead for our future and super great about money too. He's already made a plan about our life savings and bank account and everything. He's so mature and was definitely ready to settle down.
I can't believe this. How can you get my dream? You're just some old hag. It's not fair that you get to marry some hot guy younger than you. When I heard you were getting married, I thought it was to some ugly old guy.
You are way too invested in my life, Caroline. Why are you so obsessed?
Hey, you have to let me meet your fiancé. I still don't believe you unless I get to actually see it with my own eyes. There's no way I'm believing that he's as hot or young as you're saying. If he's really all that you describe him to be, he'll probably dump you for me once I meet him anyway.
Excuse me?
So what? I'm young, hot, and still single. So it would make sense if that did happen. It's not fair that you're so old and getting married instead of me.
Did you just happen to forget that you have a boyfriend already, Caroline?
Yeah, but it's not like we're married. So it's fine if I meet your fiancé. It's like window shopping or looking at the menu without ordering off.
Do you realize just how ridiculous you sound right now?
So now, don't forget to introduce me next time. If you don't, I'm more than happy to take the initiative and get his contact information and reach out myself. Hey Vanessa. Sorry for bothering you during work. I know you're probably swamped. It's me, Caroline. AKA the girl who's on her honeymoon right now. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but did you happen to get that email I sent you earlier? I made sure to send it to your work email.
Of course, I checked it. What is it about? Is there a reason you felt the need to send me a picture of your wedding pictures? After you decided to steal my fiancé, so you could marry him yourself? What do you want me to say? That it's a beautiful picture and you both look happy? Congratulations, I guess.
Thank you so much. I wanted you to be the first to know that Peter and I got married. It's all thanks to you, although I do feel like I owe you an apology. I know you were really looking forward to marrying him, so I almost feel bad that I stole him from you. But what can I do? Sometimes these things just happen, you know. Peter just fell head over heels and was so insisted on marrying me. How could I ever say no?
Whatever, Caroline, I don't care anymore. It's over. It's done and I'm moving on. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that he chose you over me.
See? That's what I've been saying this whole time. I'm so glad you finally see the truth that I'm so much younger and hotter. So obviously, I was the more attractive choice. Plus, I met his family and they already love me. They all keep saying that Peter was bright in his choice of wife. So sweet of them. I'm really feeling on top of the world. I mean, Peter makes great money and his family is well off. So I feel like I'm basically set for life. He said he's so glad he made the right choice with a younger wife.
He did say that?
Yeah, no cap. You should have seen the way he was looking at me during the wedding. Like when I came out in my gorgeous dress, his mouth was hanging open for so long. I thought he'd catch flies or something. But you know what is the best part of all of this? That is I got to steal your fiancé. It's the best feeling ever. This wedding was everything I could have ever asked for. Don't worry, I'll make sure to be happy with Peter.
I guess I should just say congratulations and leave it at that. And also welcome to hell.
Excuse me?
Please by all means enjoy your life being married to Peter. You can be his bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, obedient wife. You'll have to work hard to support Peter and his family.
Wait. What do you mean?
Well, like you said, I'm not that young. So I didn't really have the energy to take care of his dad or anything. But because you're young, you should have no problem at all with that. It'll be super easy for you to get up in the middle of the night to change his diapers.
What?
I actually had kind of a hard time keeping my mouth shut around them. He always got so upset that I would talk back. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem for you, right? I'm sure you'll be a big help to them. Good luck with all of that.
You're kidding, right? I'm a little confused, Vanessa. What you're trying to say right now? Don't try to scare me like that just because you're jealous.
Oh. Have you and Peter discussed anything that happens post-wedding?
What do you mean?
Well, after you and Peter get married, you guys will be moving into his dad's house right away. They want you to do the chores around the house and take care of his dad. You'll have to quit your job, of course, and spend all day with his dad at home. Didn't he tell you all of this?
What? That literally sounds like every wife's nightmare.
Did he really not tell you any of this? A red flag if you ask me. Of course, I had him explain all of this to me before we even got engaged.
Really? We never talked about any of that. He didn't tell me anything like you said. You must be lying to me.
You don't believe me? Why don't you just ask him and he'll tell you the same things? After all, you guys are on your honeymoon, so if you're gonna find time to talk about all of this, it would be now. Well, it was great catching up with you. I have to get back to work now. Enjoy the rest of your honeymoon.
Vanessa. Reply me, please. What am I supposed to do now? You are right. Peter just pretty much told me the same thing you did. We're moving into his dad's as soon as we get back from our honeymoon. I have to do all the house cleaning and take care of his dad. But I'm not getting paid for any of it. Oh my God. And then he also said that once I quit my job, he's in charge of all of our finances.
It looks like he even added some conditions.
Yeah, you'd think something this big would warrant some kind of conversation beforehand. But when I asked him why he never even mentioned any of this before, do you know what he said?
What's that? Tell me.
He said that when he dumped his last girlfriend, she told him there's no way anyone would agree to all those things. So he took the advice and decided to hide all that information until after we got married.
Well, what a smart way for taking advice. Isn't that interesting? To be honest, when I told him he should rethink that, that is definitely not what I had in mind. I meant he should rethink those conditions. But not rethink talking about them.
Can't believe this happened. And you know what the most annoying part is? Peter really considers me basically as a glorified housekeeper. And when I asked him why he wanted to get married to me, he said he was basically looking for a replacement because he lost his mom.
Yeah, Peter told me the same thing. I guess a few years back Peter's mom filed for divorce and then just up and disappeared.
He said he was so upset when his mom left and there was nobody to do the housekeeping or to take care of his dad. And it was too much work, so he wanted to find a wife to take over everything for him. He also said that you had reminded him of his mom and kind of looked like her too. So he really liked you. But his dad said someone younger would be more useful in the long run, so he gave up and listened to Dad. I thought I hit husband lottery. But instead, I get stuck with a boy with mommy issues.
Yeah, not gonna lie, when I heard that it put me off too. I thought he was a catch, but glad I dodged that bullet.
This is literally making me sick to my stomach.
But hey Caroline. Why don't you look on the bright side? Getting to retire early because you're getting married seems like a pretty sweet deal. To be frank, I'm jealous. This is cheerful.
What? Really, Vanessa? I can't believe you knew all of this the entire time, and you didn't even bother to tell me.
Don't come to me. I thought he would explain all of that to you before you two got married. I mean, that would be the responsible and logical thing to do. That's why I was so low-key surprised when you actually went through with marrying him. That takes a lot of guts to know you're gonna have to endure all of that for the rest of your life.
No. No way. I can't live in that life. You have to help me get out of these things. If this is how I have to live, marry my ex will 1,000 times better. My ex is definitely not as hot as Peter, but I would rather marry a troll than have to live in hell like this. Oh my God. Can't believe this happened. I have heard that my ex is planning to move to overseas office. I'm so stuck now.
Caroline. Do you know you're bothering me at work? I happen to be very busy right now and I don't really have time.
Whatever, but that's much more important. Nobody told me that Tom is going to Germany. What's the heck is that?
Isn't that great? Good for him. He's gonna be there for, like, 5 years. They might even extend his contract there longer if he can lay on them that big deal.
I'm not joking, Vanessa. When I texted Tom, he said you were the one that recommended him for the transfer. How could you do that to me? Do you enjoy running my life?
Hey sis, you seem to be doing a bang-up job of that all on your own.
Tom said that he can't get back together with me because he's leaving. It's all your fault. Stop it. Stop interfering with my personal business.
Not everything is about you, Caroline. Tom asked me to make a recommendation to his boss, so I did. Besides, it's more your fault than mine that he put in for the overseas transfer in the first place.
No, it's not.
Yeah, actually it is. Tom was thinking about asking you to marry him before you went and dumped him. So he was actually staying in the country for you. But when he has no reason to stay here anymore, why he shouldn't try to advance his own career? He could really use the experience, especially since he wants to take over his parents' business someday. So, we thought it would be a good idea to make some connections overseas as well.
Hold on. What did you say? Tom is planning on taking over his parents' company?
Yeah, isn't that great? I just knew that from him, but he's quite humble when only saying the name of the company. But then I googled it, it turned out that his parents own one of our biggest supply companies. I mean, maybe that is the future story, but he's really trying to get as much experience as possible. He's trying a lot, Caroline.
What? I never knew about this. Are you telling me that if I stayed with Tom, I would have become the wife of a CEO?
I suppose that was a possibility.
That's not fair, I can't believe this. I'll divorce Peter so that Tom and I can get married. You can have him back, Vanessa. Peter is all yours and you can marry him.
What?
Aren't you happy about that you got him back? You can still have the chance to get married even at your age. You should said thank you me. That's the chance you should appreciate. I'll come back for my honeymoon right now so you and Peter can live happily.
Yeah, but no thanks. I don't need that jerk anymore. I don't care about him. So, stop talking like this, okay?
What?
And you should not dream of getting Tom back. He already knew everything you did. I told him all.
Why you did that to me?
Tom is a good guy. I don't want to let him stay with a toxic human being like you. So now, I don't think we need to talk anymore. I have to get back to work now.
Wait, Vanessa. You can't do that to me. Vanessa.
After our conversation, Caroline came back from her honeymoon with Peter. She was promptly whisked away to live at his dad's house. Just like Peter had said, he made her quit her job. But in fact, Caroline had no job. None of us really ever saw her again. I heard that she was really stuck doing all of the housework and taking care of Peter's dad. Well, welcome her the hell. That's the ideal.
Hey, what are you doing now?
Nothing. Just laying around at home.
I heard about the big news. The divorce finally went through, right? It was taking so long. I was starting to think that it might not happen, but here we are.
What do you want, Ellie? Well, we did decide to get divorced. But there's still some paperwork to be done before it is finalized.
Yeah, Peter and I are going to be so happy now. You have no idea. I'm sure this way is better off for you as well, wouldn't you say?
First of all, wouldn't it be considerate to offer some kind of apology? After all that has gone down, I really don't get why you're messaging me like this. At the end of the day, you're the one who broke up your friend's marriage. And why? To spite your friend and steal her husband. I shouldn't even respond to you, it just pisses me off.
Oh, I am really sorry about everything that went down. I know you were dating Peter and that everything didn't go as smooth as you might have liked. But you've got to realize something, Jade. You know that's partly your own fault, right?
What? How is this my fault? You've been sneaking around with Peter all this time. Explain to me exactly how this is my fault.
Well, it's clear that Peter wasn't happy with you and he needed a new leaf on life. You were the one who made him so unhappy for all that time. But now it looks like he's turning it around. You must be happy for him, right? He's gonna be with someone he really loves.
What? Why would I be happy my friend basically stole my husband from me? I've got no one now.
That's too bad for you, Jade. But think about your friend and ex-husband. They're going to be heading towards the momentous occasion in their life. Come on, Jade. You have to be happy for me. I'm finally getting married after we talked about it all those years.
But to my ex-husband. Don't you think that's a little weird? There are plenty of guys out there, but you had to choose specifically the one that I was with? Why is that, Ellie?
As you know, Peter and I have a natural organic connection. It was like nothing I'd ever felt before. Peter also said that it was the same for him. He feels free to express himself. Unlike the stressful environment when you two were living together. We fit like a perfect puzzle pieces. It's really rare to find. Thus you should just be happy for us.
You need to shut up about all that nonsense. You don't know how it feels to be with someone, then have them snatched away from you. Especially by someone you thought was your best friend.
Jade, we're still friends. Don't get too carried away like that. We're gonna be friends even after me and Peter are together too. It's gonna be great.
Shut up, Ellie. Stop it.
Excuse me? That is not something that you should be saying to your friend. Not very polite.
If you ask me polite, how about you're stealing my husband? Your brain's gotta be busted or something. You should go to doctor to have a medical checkup.
Come on, Jade. Don't be so angry. Everything will run its course.
For what you did, I'm not going to be friends with you.
I know I did. But I apologize more times than I can count. Don't tell me you forgot about those apology letters I sent? And I made sure Peter sets you up with enough funds for after he leaves. I was the one who convinced him to do that. You should be thank me about that.
So you think because you did that, I'll just forgive you? You must really have brain damage if you think that's gonna happen.
Jade, please don't be so childish about all of this. In fact, I didn't have to give you anything. No letter, no alimony, nothing. But I was the one who spoke up and demanded it. You need to realize that I'm just being a good friend.
What did you just say? You're not my friend anymore. You've burnt our relationship. I don't want anything to do with you.
Come on, Jade. You really need to grow up and just learn how to forgive and forget. Being angry all the time is not gonna help you find a new guy. You know that, right?
God, you're mean-spirited for saying that. I really wish you weren't so fixed on keeping me as a friend. I don't need you anymore. You're dead to me, Ellie.
No matter what you say, I'm gonna be here for when you need me. I'm a good friend after all, so don't forget that. I'm waiting on those divorce papers that you're supposed to send to Peter. He said you're delaying sending them for whatever reason. Wants to hold up?
I'm gonna be sending it. You don't have to worry. And after I do, I'm not gonna have to talk to you too.
Oh, you really are mad, Jade. Aren't you taking some deep breaths? You'll be okay. I recommend the meditation or yoga to relieve stress. I swear by those. But anyway, I gotta get going. I just want to let you know that I'm always here for you even if you do hate my guts. I'd appreciate it if you could send Peter those divorce papers. That way we can get the show on the road, you know? I've got some news to tell you. I and Peter have got married. We couldn't wait a minute longer, so we just did it.
Oh, you didn't need to wait for the divorce papers to come in then?
No, we just went and did it. It seems like it was a legit place. They only made us sign a few papers. It was also official. I'm so happy now. Oh, I heard about your chat with Peter about that money. He's reassured me that everything is fine with paying it back at a slower pace. Thanks so much for making a compromise with him. It really helps us out a lot.
A compromise? No, I didn't change anything. He still owes me $100,000. 50 this year and 50 next year. And it was signed by a lawyer. He has to pay me according to the law.
You're kidding! So you're saying that Peter was lying to me? That's unheard of. He's always honest with me.
Peter being honest? You just surprised me. I've never heard of him being straight with anything. You're in for a good one, Ellie.
What are you trying to say? Of course, you want to just sour me and Peter's new relationship. But you don't have to tell lies to drag his name. Anyways, did you know that half of that money was actually mine? Anything you can do to ease the burden means I don't have to help him out as much too. It would mean the world to not only Peter but myself as well.
Huh? You paid half of the alimony payment that we agreed on?
Well, maybe even a little bit more than half. You see, Peter kind of broke down crying one night. He told me there was no way that we could get married if I didn't provide part of those payments. It was pretty bad, he was crying like a kid. Didn't know that Peter was that emotional, but it's not a bad thing. I like a man to be able to show emotions.
So he behaved like a little baby? Well, it sounds about right for him. He's always had a tantrum whenever he can't get what he wants.
You really don't get it, do you? He is the one who chose me, I chose him as well. Because of that I have to support him in any way I can. So I have to pay your greedy self off just to get you off our case. Then me and Peter can live our life together. It's unreal to think of how far we've come from the time that I met him at that party. Now, we're actually a couple.
Yeah, you met at the party at my house. That was supposed to be a housewarming party, but it looks like there were some things going on behind the scenes.
Yes, that's right. It was a party at your new house. When you had to run out and grab more drinks, Peter and I really had some time to chat. You know what, Jade? He really does have a great sense of humor. He's like always making me laugh and laugh. It really is nice to be happy again. After all those years, he was really down when he was with you.
Yeah, that's so great. I am so happy for you. Finally, Peter has someone who's just as pathetically delusional as he is.
How exactly is he delusional? You mean, the way he chooses to see things in a more positive light, hardly a negative trait if I do say so.
Oh, you'll find out. But anyway, although you guys went and got married at whatever half-rate business, it doesn't mean everything's all good and settled. Until I get that money, I'm not going to sign the divorce papers. Therefore, your marriage to him is not going to be legit until those papers go through.
Well, everything seemed good at the place that we went to. They told us not to worry about any of the details.
Yeah, it sounds really reputable.
Well, we can talk about the money later. What's important now is that I'm married. I know things have been tough lately, but it really mean a lot if you were here for me. Remember when I went to your wedding? I even bought a special dress for it.
Like I said, you and Peter are both delusional and totally out of touch with reality. I'd never come to your wedding even if I was paid to be there. After that money is in my account, I'm not going to be concerned with anything that you or that jerk. I'm done after that, and there's nothing you can do to change my mind.
Well, let's think about it for a second. We're giving you all this money, right? So the least you could do is come to the wedding and help us celebrate. Come on, it's a wedding, Jade. It's not like I'm asking you to do any work or anything. You just show up, smile, and look pretty. Did you know you didn't need to wait for the divorce papers to come in?
What's the real reason you want me to come, Ellie?
You are so doubtful and negative about everything. It doesn't have to be some dark hidden meaning to everything. I just want my good friend to be at my wedding. And besides, there's actually gonna be a big announcement there as well. I'm not gonna tell anyone until the big day.
Announcement?
Yeah, I bet you can't guess it.
I have no clue, nor do I even care.
Oh, come on. Take a guess. You're not being any fun.
Ellie, are we done here? I don't have time for this.
I'm pregnant.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I want you to come celebrate with us. This isn't only a wedding celebration. It's a celebration for a new baby as well. I know you may still have some feelings for Peter, so it might take a bit of time to get used to the idea. But it's a big deal.
Yeah, I see. I don't have any feelings for that jerk anymore. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about that announcement. I'd prefer not to even think about it.
You don't have feelings for him anymore?
Of course.
That's perfect. That means that you can come to the celebration with no problem? You won't be jealous at all, will you? I can't believe I actually was the one to end up with Peter. To be honest, I thought you guys were gonna be together forever.
You really think he's a good guy? You have no clue, Ellie. Sure, you can go ahead and throw a celebration. But you might not want to invite your little sister.
My little sister? But why?
Peter is cheating on you with your younger sister.
That's ridiculous. How do you know that? You're just making up. You're trying to split us up, right?
Oh, you wouldn't believe me? That's not surprising actually. But I honestly really was surprised to hear that you would cover divorce payments for a guy like that. Like, do you really suppose that this marriage is going to last? He's just marrying you because your sister is already taken.
Shut up, Jade. You don't know anything. You need to stop spreading these terrible lies, especially at this time.
I do know Peter a lot more than you actually. So a word of advice, trust what I have to say about him or you will get deceived by him.
Jane, you don't have to be so dramatic. There's no way he's gonna treat me the same way that he treated you. He actually respects me and is always upfront and honest about everything. I can ask him about anything and he'll tell me with no hesitation.
I think you might be blinded by this feeling of attraction. You're not seeing the full picture.
There's no way I believe you. But supposed it was true, where did you hear that? It seems really strange for you to single out my sis like that.
Like I said, the truth will come out whether you believe me or not. When I was with Peter, I discovered him cheating not only with you, but with your sister as well.
Tell me more.
Peter must have had 15 other girls' numbers in his phone. And he was actively texting them trying to set up dates, or not even hookups.
What the? There's no way. Where's the proof?
Sure. I hired a private investigator and had them follow Peter after work. He would often say things like work's running late today or gonna be home past midnight. I knew his company didn't have that much overtime. So it was clear that was just an excuse. And my investigator brought back pictures of you, pictures of your sister, pictures of countless other girls.
What? Is that all true? Show me those pictures.
I don't have to show you anything. But they're in a file in my house now. If you don't believe me, I could send you them over text.
So he actually was cheating with my sister?
Yeah. Your sister and tons of other girls. If that's not enough, he had to pay off a few of them just to keep quiet.
What do you mean by pay off? Are you saying he's giving alimony payments to them too?
Well, he wasn't married with them, so there wouldn't be alimony payments. He's been paying them as a kind of hush money. He must have been super relieved when you offered to pay part of it. That's the reason why I'm not getting the money from him yet. There must be a few women who he has to pay before me.
I can't believe a word of it. If it does turn out to be true, then Peter is just terrible.
Well, the sooner you start believing me, the better. So now, do you want to get married to a scumbag like that? You have to answer it by yourself. I'm done here.
After that, Peter and Ellie got into their fight. Ellie discovered that Peter was cheating on her. Peter even demanded that Ellie get a DNA test to determine the true father of the child. But Ellie declined to do so. But it turned out that the baby didn't belong to Peter. But when the baby was born, she actually belonged to Ellie's FWB. That's surprising then. Peter then kicked her out of the house. I am lucky not to get involved in these trash. I'm free now.